Hey guys, Ben Johnston here. So, I finished the first half of the first season of The Get Down on Netflix. Um, so, this is going to be sort of an impromptu or at least like on the spot review of the show in a nutshell. So, I don't have a script with me, so I'm not going to try to memorize any lines. I'm just gonna say at the top of my head what I thought about the Get Down. Overall, I think it's a very good show so far. Who knows how it's gonna go in for the next couple of I don't know how many seasons, but so far in the first half, it's pretty strong, I'd say. So, so the Get Down, it's a musical show that's about a couple different characters that are interconnected with one another. They sort of play off each other in certain sections. Uh, you have you basically have a group of kids that are trying to make it big as DJ artists or a DJ band, and it takes place around the 70s in the Bronx, and it at the time it was like DJ was kind of looked down upon as like this low form of art, just as much as like how gangster rap is kind of looked down on in a similar way. Uh, so it revolves around those kids making it big, and it also revolves around a girl trying to make it big herself as like a singer, and she has big dreams of getting out of the Bronx and being famous. And so this show is created by Baz Luhrmann and another guy named Stephen Aldry. It starts with a G, but I don't know how to pronounce it. So it's created by one of the creators is Baz Luhrmann, and he has. If you guys don't know who Baz Luhrmann is, he directed several feature films in the past, like Strictly Ballroom, Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio, Moulin Rouge, and he also did The Great Gatsby with Leonardo DiCaprio. Uh, and generally, his films are very much like over the top, very stylized type of movies, and they can be really fun to watch because of that. And The Get Down is no exception because when you watch that show, you feel like you're watching a Baz Luhrmann movie. Like if you're familiar with Moulin Rouge, you'll feel right at home with The Get Down. Um, and overall, The Get Down I do think is a very good show. Um, for a couple reasons. Firstly, the style and how colorful the look is of the show. It feels like it's very vibrant in that show. And it's very consistently entertaining throughout to watch it. Uh, a lot of the editing in that show is very suitable for a lot of the musical moments, and there are moments that are very energized, and that elevates the show quite a bit. Um, and also the actors in the show, they are really good in it. There's a lot of newcomers to the show, and I think they're gonna have bright careers ahead of them after this show. Uh, and I mean, I'll mention a few. There's I'll mention or three in the Fantastic Four plus one group, which is what the band is I think called. You have Justice Smith, I think is the actor's name, playing Ezekiel, who's like the wordsmith of the group who creates all the lyrics. Hold on, I'm just gonna check the battery. Nope, still good. Anyway, uh, so you have Ezekiel, who's the wordsmith. He creates all the lyrics, and he was really good at being in the emotional parts of the show, and he also is a very good like rapper in parts of it. Like if he had like another career, he could do pretty well as a rapper himself. Then you have Xiao Lin, the actor who's the main character of the. Well, not the main character, but he's one of the characters in the Fantastic Four plus one. He's a very interesting character because he's he wants to be a musician himself, but he's also kind of part of a life of crime in the show, and he's just trying to make it through all of this, like balancing his life of crime as well as being part of a band. Uh, and one more member. Well, there's three more, but for now I'm just gonna mention Jaden Smith. Quite, he's actually pretty decent in this show, not too shabby. Like Jaden Smith has usually been like hit or miss in a lot of movies. Like I would say After was like one of his big misses, I'd say, but in he's really proving himself. I hope he gets and he's getting better at it. I think if he picks more good shows or movies like this, I think he'll do just fine. Uh, then, so on the other side of this, you have Mylene. She's the singer that wants to make it big. The actress that played her is really good in that show. She like the actor that played Ezekiel, she gets around the emotional scenes really well, and she also is a very good singer on top of that. Like she could do well on Broadway, and as well as having as well as a singing career as well. And she also has a very very strict father played by Gus from Breaking Bad. So you know he's strict. He'll probably slice someone's throat out with a box cutter if they don't stay in line with him. Uh, anyway, there's and then you all so Giancarlo Esposito is very entertainingly over the top as the father in that show. Then you have Jimmy Smits, who's kind of a crucial character in the show because he is the guy that's trying to get Mylene to make it big as a singer, and he's kind of a father figure to Mylene, and he is really convincing in that show. Like I really bought into his motivation. Like he just wants to see Mylene be free of like the tyrannical rule of Giancarlo Esposito in that show. Uh, so, and there's one more thing. The music is really good. I think that's a very vital part of the show because if your music sucks in the show, it's not gonna be as good as it could have been. But overall, the music was great. Like, especially the last. There's a big like DJ sort of rap music number that happens at the last episode of the show, and it is quite awesome to listen to. Like you're tapping your feet so much to that song. It's really that entertaining. There's also a gospel type song that plays. That's also really good. It plays in the last two episodes of the show. That's a really good part of it. Overall, the show is excellent, I'd say, so far. I'm curious to see how it's going to go in the next couple seasons or the next part of the first season. So I would say give the show a watch. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.